Welcome back to Wrestling Report. On today's video we have Jon Moxley takes shots at WWE again, Chris Jericho recalls shutting down WWE Star, Wight discusses feeling frustrated with numerous heel and face turns in WWE, harsh words from WWE producer Shane Helms to the fans. Jon Moxley takes shots at WWE again. Jon Moxley's first ever book, Mox, is out this week, and he went on Talk Is Jericho to discuss the book with Chris Jericho. Moxley mentioned how the idea of writing a book came to him, and he revealed that WWE had wanted him to write a book. He also revealed which current WWE star convinced him to not write the book at that time. "I didn't even come up with the idea. That's how a lot of stuff is with me," Moxley pointed out. "Anytime I've done a movie, it's not like, oh, I want to go be an actor. No, somebody just said, hey, you want to do a movie? And I said, sure. Okay. All I ever wanted to be was a wrestler. That's all I really want to be. That's all I really care about, but other stuff comes to you and you go, hey, I'll try it out. So it was this chick, Amanda, damn you, Amanda, for doing this to me. She's from the publishing company. I remember I actually asked Bryan Danielson, who'd written a WWE book, which was good, I thought. And I was like, yo, if you could go back in time, would you do that book? And he said no instantly. He's like, it wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be, and I was like, that's all I needed to hear. That's what my instinct was telling me, so I told them no, and they're like, really? And it was a lot of money on the table, but I was just like, no, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. I don't want to do it, so I'm not doing it. And that was it. Moxley said that he wanted the book to be in the format of a journal you would find in a basement with a collection of his thoughts, describing it as a dirty book. He discussed his process of writing his book. There's probably a month I lost of writing about stuff, WWE related, where I was like, I feel like I have to put this in, because I feel like that's what people are gonna expect or want, and I just hated it all. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like reading this. Maybe there's somebody out there who just loves trashing WWE, and they love dirt, and they want to hear about this. I don't like it. I canned it all. I just deleted it all, just starting over. So with WWE, mostly, I tried to hit on a little bit of everything, but I mostly focused on the good stuff, and there's a lot of good stuff. It hit me where I was like, okay, this book is about who I am. This book is not about who I'm not. I might give you some thoughts, some feelings about some stuff. Basically, it will focus on the good stuff and who I am. Jericho and Moxley pointed out how many wrestling books can be about a wrestler taking shots at other people and still holding grudges over things that happened decades ago. Moxley discussed what his goal for the book was. I was thinking, if I die tomorrow, if I get hit by a bus, this is going to be the final record of my life, Moxley noted. So I want people to know who I was, the good and the bad and the ugly, but I don't want to focus on anything stupid that's not worth my time. That I'm not even worried about anymore. I don't know why I would bother writing about it. I think it hits on a little bit of everything about every time period of my life. There's probably more WWE in it, honestly, than E because E was kind of currently going on, so I'm kind of experiencing it now. I don't want to say it brought some closure, but it kind of puts a pin on the WWE run very nicely. That's over and moving on, and it was all great and everything, and now life is good, and we move on. Chris Jericho recalls shutting down WWE Star. On the latest episode of the Talk Is Jericho podcast, Chris Jericho sat down with Jon Moxley to talk about his new book, Mox. Moxley discussed his days with The Shield and recalled the night all three members held the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 2016. Moxley noted that those stories are saved for the book, but Jericho told a story from their preparation for the Money in the Bank ladder match. It was you and me, and it was Sami and Kevin, and it was Cesaro and Del Rio, Jericho recalled. And Sami and Kevin were convinced that they needed to build an apparatus and take some kind of ridiculously stupid bump or else nobody would care, and you were just sitting there being typical Mox. Whatever you guys want to do, and Sami was talking. And Cesaro said, Sami, can I say something? And Sami goes, no, and continues talking. Cesaro was just like Jericho makes an angry noise, and I remember, at one point, I said, okay, stop. I'm the captain now. I'm taking over. Everything has to be approved by me. If you got a problem, go talk to Vince. It's all about climbing the ladder and reaching for the title. That's all that matters, and we had the match. You won. It ended up being really good, and afterwards, Sami went, "Wow, you were right. You had some good ideas there." I'm like, yes, of course I'm right. Moxley recently competed in the casino ladder match on an episode of Dynamite. However, Moxley gave his thoughts on ladder matches and why it had to take some convincing from Tony Khan to be in the match. Those matches are so annoying. They were always big hits with the crowd because we just did one the other week, Moxley noted. I swore I would never be in another ladder match again. I hate ladder matches. I'm not a ladder guy. I swear ladders and chairs took more years off my career than probably anything. You get bone chips on your elbows. I hate ladders, and I'm not what you would call a high flyer, if you haven't noticed. I don't really know why I need to be going up this ladder, and I swore I'll never be in one. And Tony's like, I'm doing this match. We got to announce the graphic. I fought tooth and nail to try to come up with every excuse why I shouldn't be in a ladder match, but if you're paying me and I'm here working for you, I want to do a good job. I want to do a good job for the team. He's like, we need star power in this match. I got to give the graphic to them tonight. I was like, fine, I'll do the frickin' ladder match. I just swore that I'll never be in another ladder match, and here I am in a ladder match again, talking with 6 guys trying to figure out all this insanity. They're always big hits with the crowd. You climb the ladder and you dangle your fingertip a little bit, and they go nuts. Paul Wight discusses feeling frustrated with numerous heel and face turns in WWE. Paul Wight, better known as The Big Show, recently looked back on his successful run with WWE that spanned over 20 years. During his career with the company, Vince McMahon turned him babyface and heel a lot to the point where it became a joke among fans. Wight, who is now an heel, did an interview with Inside the Ropes and talked about the constant turns. "Oh, I think it's super frustrating. One of the things that turning did is made it hard for me to develop a consistent identity, to sell merch. Merchandise is a huge part of our industry, and you either have to have a solid run as a really dominant heel where people want to buy your stuff because you're the anti-hero and they like it, or you need to have a solid run as a babyface where they love your stuff and everybody wants to buy it. When you're flip-flopping, a lot of times you're pissing people off, you're constantly dividing your audience." He noted, on the other hand, it's a compliment to your in-ring work and being able to switch gears. So while it showed he could do well in any situation, it was tough for the brand to sell merchandise. Wight recalled after asking Steve Austin and The Rock one night in the Attitude Era how much they made off merchandise, he knew it wasn't going to be a main income stream for him. "During these situations, most people thought I was schizophrenic and they didn't understand what I was doing and why I was doing it. Usually, it wasn't up to me." Wight stated there was a hole in the roster for him to fill, but at the same time, it was frustrating for him and questioned why he did it in storyline. He added that it would have been nice to have a career that was a little bit more consistent, but is happy with how his career panned out. WWE producer Shane Helms fires back at fans. Wrestling fans are interested in what's going on behind the scenes, as there are many instances where finding out what's happening with creative plans or contracts is more intriguing than what is portrayed in storylines on television. With the WWE talent cuts on Thursday, there has been a lot of news regarding those releases as well as what the company did and did not have planned for those wrestlers have come out. WWE producer Shane Helms responded to various people on Twitter regarding backstage news reports. He advised that fans should invest their time and energy in the product rather than the behind-the-scenes happenings. He first wrote, "I promise all wrestling fans, if you stop investing in this behind-the-scenes rumor mill horseshit, you'll enjoy pro wrestling so much more. Imagine giving this much attention to behind-the-scenes shit with movies and other TV shows. Why? So stupid."